Welcome everyone to the Middle School Building Committee meeting of Monday, November 25th. This meeting is at the Savage Center, room 219, and it is a virtual meeting. Quorum being present. Let's get right to the agenda. First item in the agenda will be public comments, and I ask first, is there anyone online who wishes to make public comments? Seeing none, I know we have Judith Howard who wishes to make some comments. Judith, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I've been on the subject of side aisles long before there was any plan. I think the initial time was at town meeting years ago when I pointed out the flaws in the auditorium of the high school. And I mentioned it at town meeting, and beyond that, then I had a meeting with the chairman and then Justin Thibodeau from AI3 and another gentleman from Compass, and I think that Vertex is a superseded Compass. So I have written several letters to the editor, and I have commented this to lots of people, because this is one of the most important things if you're going to have a middle school. They should have side aisles because it's the right thing to do. And so at the last town meeting, I asked to speak on Article 4, which was the Capital Outlay Committee meeting. And I wanted to give an amendment, but the moderator was very kind, and she said that the proper place would be here at the middle school committee meeting. So one of the first memos that I wrote to you, the middle school building committee, also included the Board of Selectmen, PTO at the middle school, the Norwood Fire Department, AI3, and Compass, and also first-class mail to the MSBA. And it was regarding the side aisles in the auditorium. And I wrote that in January 12, 2013. Subsequent to that, I received a letter from the chairman saying that you're going to go with the, made the decision to move forward with the design solution currently in place. However, I can't let it go. And so I am here not only to request reconsideration, but I'm here to plead for reconsideration. And I'm going to read you, hopefully, my speech that I intended to give at town meeting this past October 24.
Hey, Judith.
May I? It's very short.
If is it just a couple of minutes?
Yeah, maybe about 3.
How long?
About 3 or 4. But I
3 minutes will be fine, so just go through it.
I speak slowly. Thank you. So, absent from the capital outlay list is a very important project, and that is the inclusion of side aisles at the end of the dead-end rows in the auditorium of the new middle school. The flaws of this auditorium at the high school were pointed out early on before town meeting in October 2017, before pen was put to paper. But that is not what happened. The design plans for the new auditorium are practically the same as the so-called model school, with no side aisles, but with a wall and railing barrier at the end of each row. The reasons given for their omission were the auditorium would not be reimbursed by the MSBA, and the present design met code and industry standard. Codes are changed because contractors and developers lobby their government aides to change them, to make it easier and cheaper for them to build and for them to make substantial profits by also receiving state subsidies. So I vote to fund this request. 1, it is important to be mindful of the safety of the middle school population in the new auditorium. Together with an excellent academic education, safety should be paramount. 2, the present middle school has both center aisles and side aisles and met code at the time in the 1970s. By not providing the same safety feature, it is going backwards. 3, the middle school population will increase by 25% with the addition of this town's entire 5th grade class. 4, with the number of students with high or special needs, side aisles need to be included for easy egress. So I think I will leave it there, Mr. Chairman. But for safety and all these other reasons, I hope this committee will be attuned to reconsidering and putting in side aisles at the end of the dead end rows. But I've noticed AI3 here, I think. And I would just like to ask them, couldn't the side corridor be depressed, take away the wall and the railing, and couldn't it be depressed so that the way to the stage could be from the outside corridor?
Yeah, we could, I mean, if it's the desire of the committee, we could take a look at whatever solution.
Yeah.
But it's up to the building committee.
This
Mr.
school
Chairman.
is supposed to last 50 years. Just divvy up the cost for the 50 years and you get it. It's very, very important. I am sure if you do not put it in, you will regret it. And I don't think you will want to have any regrets, but you want to have the best interests of this town of Norwood and the best interests of the children of the school in mind when you're doing this. I would love to hear the discussion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for letting me speak.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. Comments, questions from the committee?
Dave Hilt has his hand raised.
Just my only thing, Alan, and I don't know if you guys can hear me. I hear
Yeah.
this, but this is like the 4th time we've heard this. We're far enough along in the development process. We've explained this why. Like, I'm sorry, but that isn't changing. And I also would just like to clarify, I believe, or I thought that with public comment, we did 3 minutes, but it was 3 minutes per person.
Okay. Any other comments at this point?
My only comment would be the current design of the auditorium seating meets fire code and other building codes.
Fire code has
Am I
changed.
correct in assuming that?
It meets the building code.
Thank you.
It's a building code, man, it's not fire code.
Okay,
It's
meets the building
For
code.
egress.
It's been changed. Well-
We reviewed it to make sure that it complies with the 9th edition. 10th edition is not in effect. So we're in the same building code from design through completion.
Okay. All right.
I just want to say I understand completely what you're saying, and it makes a lot of sense, but I think, there's so many other factors that play into the decision-making and with following the plan and the model schools and the money, but I hear exactly what you're saying, and I'm picturing trying to get to a kid, and I'm sure that they'll be placed in the safest position for them regardless of whether that end aisle exists. But it makes a lot of sense. You're in the middle of the aisle and you've got to do something or get out quickly. But I appreciate your advocacy for that, but I understand we're under a lot of different, things.
Well, this was brought up before anything, even before it was approved to have a new middle school. So,
Okay. While Ms. Howard is here, any other questions or comments? Seeing none?
it's very interesting that nobody did. Nobody has thought about it. And when the discussion was made, I don't know that all the reasons for it. So when parents come into the new middle school next year, in 2025, they're going to remark about it because their little ones are only 10 or 11 years old. And if you have 10 or 11-year-old children and they're tripping over themselves to get out of those things, it's going to be very, very difficult. But
Okay.
anyway, thank you for
Okay.
listening.
Thank you.
Quick question, just in terms of historical context, and 3 Compass Vertex, whoever wants to answer this question, have there been safety issues that have occurred with similar projects with no side aisles?
Not that I'm aware of any of our past projects.
Just
Thank you.
Just for comment too, it's not a Massachusetts regulation, it's an international code.
Okay.
So it's an I code, it's not amended in Massachusetts, so it's nationwide.
Okay.
That code requirement for length of dead end aisle,
Okay.
it's in the IBC.
Right. But bottom line is that the project is consistent with that code.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Judith.
The code doesn't make it right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Next item on the agenda, approval of the minutes of the October 21st meeting. Motion made.
I do want to mention.
Oh, one, that's right,
Yes,
right.
so,
Yeah.
thank you. Bob had sent me an email to make one edit about the discussion on the rooftop units. And so I will make that edit and I will reissue it to everybody before we post it. I'll send that out. Thank you for emailing that, Bob. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Second the motion.
Motion made and seconded with the revision as requested by Mr. Donald. With that, seeing no further comment, since this is a virtual meeting, I will take a roll call. First, online, we have Matt Lane,
Yes.
David Hiltz,
Yes.
Paul Riccardi,
Yes.
Bob Donnelly,
Yes.
Tim Luff,
Yes.
Diane Ferreira,
Yes.
Margot Frezek,
Yes.
Gary Pelletier,
Yes.
and Chairman votes yes, unanimous. Thank you.
Next
Right.
item on the agenda is a vote to approve the invoice package for October. The first line here is for Vertex's OPM services totaling $91,916.25. Line number 2 is for on-site testing services through Vertex, totaling $22,709. Lines 3 and 4 are for AI3 monthly services totaling $86,536.12. And lines 5 and 6 for WT Rich is application for payment number 17, including change orders of a total of $5,536,734.89 for a grand total for October invoice package $5,737,896.76.
Okay, thank you. Questions or comments? Pleasure of the committee.
I'll make a motion to approve the vendor invoice package as submitted.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion, seeing none. Again, it's a roll call vote. Start with Matt Lane,
Yes.
David Hiltz,
Yes.
Paul Riccardi,
Yes.
Bob Donnelly,
Yes.
Tim Luff,
Yes.
Diane Ferreira,
Yes.
Margot Frezek,
Yes.
Gary Pelletier,
Yes.
and Chairman votes yes. Again, unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Going to budget updates.
So the next item is a budget status report. So this is the updated budget status through the end of October. Last page here. This is budget status inclusive of the invoices just approved, which will bring the total committed to $133,758,759, which is about 90%, a little over 90% of the budgeted $147.9 million number. There's about $89.3 million committed and paid to date, which is 67% of the committed and 60% of the budgeted value, with just over $14.1 million remaining and uncommitted at this time.
So maybe take a minute and maybe talk about the contingency, because we really haven't been burning through that much contingency at all.
That's correct. So 9.4 million in contingency for the owner's project and construction contingency.
Yeah.
Which is a healthy budget at this time.
I mean, we'll spend a little bit more of that, but bottom line is, I mean, we should be returning a considerable amount.
I think we're tracking just under 2% right now in changes, with I think 67% built to date,
Yeah,
somewhere in that range.
good, excellent. Questions, comments? Okay.
An update on the MSBA reimbursement. Number 35 and 36 have been submitted. 34 was received in July, to bring the total MSBA paid to date at $30,395,911, which is 58% of the grant at this point. To our progress photos, there are no aerials available this month due to scheduling conflicts. This is a shot of our north elevation at the end of last week. You can see the facade is, I'd say, 90% complete on this elevation. The section in the middle, right behind the light pole, is left out to load and unload material and debris from the building. And the crews are wrapping up the area A end, where you can see the lift sticking up right there. So that'll be complete in the next couple of days, weeks. Next slide. Some more progress photos on the detailed side. So the emergency generator was placed on the pad outside of the gym last week. The binder course for asphalt was placed at the hall road around the building and at the loading dock into area A, as you can see here. This will help keep debris and dirt out of the building into the winter months, keep it dry, a little cleaner in there. Inside the gym, finishing walls continues. All the walls have been boarded and they're being taped and mudded right now. Painting has started at the ceiling in the gym last week and is continuing. On the right-hand side, this is a couple of the doors that have been installed at the administration suite, finishing off that space. Casework is in the background, has been delivered to the site and going to be installed shortly. And the auditorium, again, same Another progress is the gym. The walls are being finished. You can see here they've finished the walls and the soffits. And on the right-hand side, they've started to paint the ductwork and the ceiling at the back of the house and behind the stage, the auditorium. For some key milestones achieved this month, as I mentioned, the asphalt binder was placed at the vehicle road around the building. Underground utilities were completed at the concession stand, which allowed the slab-on grade work to commence, and that is supposed to be poured this week. The emergency generator arrived on site. The sunshades have been installed at the exterior curtain wall around the gym. Fiber cement panels have been complete at area B on the north elevation. Mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and inspections have been received for the ground floor in area A. And the walk-in freezers and freezers arrived for the two kitchens on the first and third floors in area A.
And as I understand it, we also have temp heat throughout the building?
Yes, temp heat is running outside the building right now.
Good.
On mobile units. As far as submittals, there were 904 received to date, with 15 issued in October. We're up to 568 RFIs, and 29 issued in October, and a total of 73 PRs issued to date. Ongoing activity on site, as I mentioned, the fiber cement panels, the installs wrapping up at the north elevation, ongoing on both ends at the south elevation. They're installing conduit and concrete bases for the exterior light poles around that road that was just placed. They've begun framing the exterior walls at the concession stand. Installation of elevator number 1 is ongoing. Toilet partitions and fixtures are ongoing on the upper floors. The walls are being finished in the gym and auditorium, and casework is ongoing on the first floor in area C and area B. And the project continues to trend for substantial completion June 6, 2025.
So now we'll run through, these are all the meetings we had. Oh,
So on the concession stand, so you get the wall framing's begun. When will the concession stand be, when will the walls be up? Just a little more information about when the concession stand is.
I'd say a couple of weeks. It shouldn't be too long of a duration. It's more weather dependent when they can get out there and work on it. It's intended to be turned over at the end of the phase 1 completion, so in June. So that's the target.
Any issues pouring slab, because it is going to get a little nippy this week?
No, not worried about that.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So moving on the left is a list of meetings that we had last month, and on the right are important meetings that are coming up this month. A couple to highlight: we had a keying meeting last month, and we met with facilities and W.T. Rich and their consultant, and kind of talked through that with the town. We had our monthly inspectional services meeting. Starting this month, we have a scheduled review meeting with W.T. Rich to talk through the overall schedule for the project. And we started monthly transition meetings just to talk through everything to do with moving out of the old building and into the new building.
And this is just a high-level schedule update showing some milestones over just the next 6 months of construction and turnover, as we're working with W.T. Rich to develop this schedule in more detail so we can fully understand the plan for the next 6 months and what the transition from the existing to the new will look like. The plan is to develop that, make sure everybody's comfortable from facilities, the building department, the fire department, the school, everybody on the same page as we head into June in the summer.
Any questions?
So next we have an update on FF&E. So all of the furniture and fixtures and equipment were bid. We received numbers back for almost everything. There were a couple items that had to be rebid, or we purchased them through the state contract because we didn't have anyone to bid them. So overall, all of those bids came in totaling $1,959,983. And that is under what our budget was. It also includes all of the science wish list items, which I don't remember if you remember from a few months ago, but we talked about adding those and bidding it. Everything came in under budget. So we also have a couple additional items. We have a new quote for a display case for the historical clock mechanism for $11,004.75, and also for the toilet accessories, which are an owner furnished item for all the restrooms in the building. And that totals $12,143.38. So we are looking for approval for all of these items this evening.
Okay, and I think in our package, we have a listing of all
Yeah.
the materials. or all the-
Yes, so we have, we can go through that. Everyone has the FF&E budget spreadsheet, and so everything that's in the green column is what we're requesting for approval this evening. There's also on one of these orange columns, items that have already been approved, and we have purchase orders for it. And if you can see at the very bottom, in this little square, it shows that we're about $100,000 under budget. And there are a few items still left to purchase. We don't anticipate going over what our budget is, and inclusive of those, we're still $100,000 under budget.
Okay, good, thank you.
Does anyone have any questions?
Is the historic clock already existing somewhere and you're moving it, or like is it new?
Yeah, so we, that was approved, someone to refurbish it a couple months ago, and they already have it, it's electric time in Medfield, and they are currently working on it. Same with the mechanism that goes with the clock, so that's underway already. And it's going to be displayed kind of in the main entry area of the new building.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, just looking for approval for the, all the FF&E items as listed up here.
Thank you. Pleasure of the committee.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve all recommended FF&E purchase orders as listed in the ICD award summary document totaling $1,959,983.62 in the next gen quote for toilet accessories totaling $12,143.38 and the 1031 incorporated quote for display case totaling $11,004.75.
Okay, so that brings us to a total of $1,983,401.75.
Yes.
Okay, do we have a second to that? Second. Mr. Riccardi, thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. Hold on just a second. Start first with Matt Lane,
Yes.
David Hiltz,
Yes.
Paul Riccardi,
Yes.
Bob Donnelly,
Yes.
Tim Luff,
Yes.
Diane Ferrera,
Yes.
Margot Frezek,
Yes.
Gary Pelletier,
Yes.
and Chairman votes yes, unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have a technology update, and again, you have our technology budget here. So we're just looking for approval at this time for one purchase order for the telephones and the telephone lines and the licensing, which includes 17 months of licensing. So the total for that is $88,587.01. Also, this tracker works the same way, so we still have a whole lot of items to purchase. We have estimated costs for all of them. For this, it's showing currently that we're about $37,000 over budget. I do want to note that includes costs for the cell phone boost system, which we're still unsure if we're going to need, and a lot of these items still need to get bid out, so we don't anticipate being over budget. Once everything's said and done, we're very conservative on our estimates. And then the next items that we're looking to purchase are all of the student Chromebooks and all of the teacher technology computers, and anything that they need for their desks. Does anyone have any questions?
So what are we looking for a motion for?
Just a motion to approve the quote for the telephones and the telephone lines and services, because we want to get those
Okay.
installed and running sooner than.
Okay, we don't have to vote on the other ones yet?
Nope, that's just kind of showing you how we're tracking
Okay.
and what else we have left to purchase.
All right, until we finally get the bids in and.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. All right. Pleasure of the committee.
I'll make a motion to approve the vertical communications proposal dated 11/19/24 for a total of $88,587.01. Gotta get that 1 cent in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Second.
Made and seconded. Further discussion? Seeing none, let's go to a vote. Go with Matt Lane,
Yes.
David Hiltz,
Yes.
Paul Riccardi,
Yes.
Bob Donnelly,
Yes.
Tim Luff,
Yes.
Diane Ferrera,
Yes.
Margot Frizek,
Yes.
Gary Pelletier,
Yes.
and Chairman votes yes. Unanimous. Again, thank you.
I should also note Margot had a big role in that. We bugged her a lot. She went through everything and approved it all for us. Thank you.
So Margaret went over everything, so we don't have the mahogany liquor cabinet in her office at all, that we
Didn't
could
say
take
that,
that out?
did I?
No, okay, all right, okay.
Called the telephone.
Thank you. All right, change orders.
Next item, recommend change order 14 for approval. I'll start running through each individual PCO. First one, PCO 8019 for PR 54 was some revisions to the electrical at the admin and media center circulation desk. So this revised the electrical feeds in those to be floor boxes to the power up at the desks. So the cost for the labor and material for the electrician there is $2,557. Next one, PCO 8120 for RFI 438, which revised the railing detail at stair 3. At stair.
It's 1 and 3.
It's 1
the
and 3.
RFI was for stair 3, but we have to do it at 1.
So yeah, the cost is for both at stairs 1 and 3 at the 3rd floor where the railing is in conflict with the window. So the original design is for just a typical handrail that went past the window. But due to the stairs passing the window, they had to add some pickets and some slats below that handrail to block that window and the gap there. So the cost there for the revisions at the 2 stairs, $28,138. Next one, 8123 for PR 56, which it revised the refrigerator at the nurse's suite to be a locking fridge. So there's a credit back for the deleted fridge, an add for the ones that locked, and the difference there was $682. Next one, 8124 for data credits in room 103. This is just a credit that data cabling and the install for some cameras in room 103. They were double bought between the theater drawings and the electrical drawings, so the deletion there, and the credit of $476. Next one, PCO 8131 for PR 61, which again is a credit of $7,621. This is to delete the patch cord installation that was supposed to be owned by the electrician, and this is going to be done by the Norwood IT group during their work in the building. Next one, 8132 for added card access. So this added card readers at, I believe it was 4 exterior doors along outside the building for a total of $11,559. And these ads were coordinated with the school facilities and fire department on access and use of those doors. Next one, 8134 is a $0 change to move this V4 camera location in the conduit. The next one, 8138, is for PR 68. It's a Starlink cellular dialer, which is I believe it's a fire alarm. In lieu of the dialer for a replacement device for the M&S system, there was a device that the town of Norwood Fire Department is no longer used, so this dialer is going to replace that and will communicate the M&S system out to the fire alarm, or to the fire department. Cost for this piece of equipment is $6,179.
Just to clarify that one real quick, we're doing both for the fire alarm and the M&S, is the way the current PR is written, so there's technically two.
Thank you. And finally, 8144 for PR30, which deleted signage at the cafeterias because they were double bought with monitors in the technology budget that are going to be display monitors and menus. So the deletion of the sign, $17,735. Two below the line are $0 changes to coordinate. The first one is some underground utilities, the loading dock, and the second was some added tile at the shower stall in the locker rooms, $0 cost there. For a grand total of $23,281 for change order 14. Any questions?
On 8120, the hand railings, the floor railings, that's not, they haven't been installed and having to be taken out. This is,
Correct.
you have to correct the design that
Yes.
can affect the insulation
Yes.
costs.
Yes.
Quick question on the locking fridge, just wondering why it was included here and not under FF&E.
I believe the original fridges were included in the base contract. That's why we brought these ones through there too.
Okay,
Thought
Yeah,
process at the
the only
time.
appliances through FF&E were microwaves, everything else was part of the construction contract.
okay. Further questions? Do we have a motion?
A motion to approve WT Rich change order number 14, the amount of $23,281.00.
Second.
Made and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none. Let's take a vote. Matt Lane?
Yes.
David Hiltz?
Yes.
Paul Riccardi?
Yes.
Bob Donnelly?
Yes.
Tim Luff?
Yes.
Diane Ferrera?
Yes.
Margot Frezek?
Yes.
Gary Pelletier?
Yes.
And chairman votes yes, unanimous. Again, thank you.
Thank you.
Good. All right.
And just an update on the open potential change order, so that'll bring total approved change orders to 1.1 million. We're tracking just under 800,000 and some estimated pending change orders. So bring the total changes to just under, or just at 1.68%, with about 73% of the project built through the middle of November. So again, tracking pretty well. And just an update on some previously discussed topics. So at the previous meeting, we had discussed a dedication plaque, and that has been approved and is going through the shop drawing process. The electric charging vehicle stations were discussed, and no change direction was given. So the project will continue to install the 3 dual stations, one at each of the parking lots. And the final topic is the screen walls, which has been tabled for discussion at a future time. Questions? Should be it.
All right. The last item on the agenda is other items not reasonably anticipated. Anyone have anything they'd like to bring up? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
Should-
can we meet upcoming meetings?
Oh,
dates?
meetings, right.
Sorry.
What's our normal schedule? Second
Usually
Monday?
the second Monday, but that would be 2 weeks from today, and it just seems like too soon. So I don't know. The next Monday after that is the 16th, and the next Monday after that is the 23rd. I would suggest the 16th if that works.
Well, the 9th is my birthday, so I'm all in favor of pushing it off a week.
We were planning to bring a cake, but since we push it off a week, I guess we can, so.
Bring the cake on the 16th. I have a whole month of celebration.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a little stale, but whatever.
December 16th is fine with me.
Okay,
Yeah.
next meeting is December 16th.
Do we want to look at January also?
That's Again, December 16th, 4:30.
Yes.
Okay.
So the second Monday in January is the 13th. I thought that was
The 20th is
the 20th is a holiday. Okay, so we could do January 13th.
January
That works.
13th. Again, 4:30.
Yep. And then February would be February 10th. Is that
So
a good
just so, I think I heard right, so we're moving from December 9th to December 16th, and then January 13th is what you're looking for in January?
Yes.
And
That
then-
okay?
That is.
Good, okay.
February 10th.
And February 10th?
February 10th? February 10th at 4:30?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
We're all set for those? Good, okay. If there's nothing else, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded, I won't bother for a roll call. All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you very much.